Hi traders, it's Thursday morning, the 10th of January, and this is the dollar Swiss. This is a daily time frame. It's a very bearish chart right now, but I am looking for a long. We hit a level of interest for me and are having a very strong bullish reaction off of that. You can see it off the current daily candle. Here's what it looks like on the 4-hour. We have 4-hour momentum in play. And of course, here's the hourly momentum. This is a very strong move. I don't expect to see it stop. I'm looking for it to hit about the 199 level. Eventually, I think we're going to resume and take out those prior lows and go further into the daily pattern. But for now, I'm interested in trading into what I'm seeing as a reaction off of a daily level with current 4-hour and hourly momentum. All right, this is what I've been waiting. I've been waiting to see this little, I'm on a 1-minute entry chart here. I'll talk a little bit about the ranges, but we've had a 1-minute breakout candle that I've been waiting for. I'm looking for a first target of around the 98.50 and then further targets to the 99 level I showed you. I want to try to get as advantageous an entry. I'd like to get a little closer down towards the figure, but we're at the 98.04 level now. So anywhere here is good. I'm going to have a stop in at 97.97. All right, I'm in at 98.06. Going to put my stop in. It'll be a 9-pip stop. And there's my stop in at 97. Looking for first target around 98.50. Here's how we're looking on the hourly, and I'm going to go to the 1-minute, which is the chart that I've actually been using to enter and will use to manage this trade. So you saw the setup for me was price hitting a daily level and having a very decisive move into momentum on the 4-hour and the hourly. When I started watching this, what I found that was that an extended base had developed on the 1-minute. So what I've learned to do over the past 24 months is to use ranges. I've studied with Walter Vanelli. I've observed Trader SC, Saeed. I studied Wyckoff a long time ago and liked ranges back then. And I have found a way to sort of marry the two, to work with momentum and work with ranges. But once a range is involved, I find that my trades work very differently in terms of the efficiency or the speed. If I'm doing a straight momentum trade, which is my primary setup, I do what I call fast test back momentum setups. If I do one of those, I've got a very quick moving trade that I can usually get out of within an hour, 90 minutes, something like that, with 2R, 3R. If I enter one where ranges are involved, it tends to be a trending process, but a more time laborious process. So I like to work with extended bases. An extended base by definition is 35 or more candles, which I had in play on the 1-minute. With the extended bases, a couple of things can happen. One is that you get tightening near the directional bias that you're looking to trade into. So my bias was to the long, and I had tightening to the long near the top of the range. The other thing that can happen is you can see a price go all the way down and then make a quick sweep up through the range. And that's another indication to me that price is ready to break out to a further level. So I was watching this little box. This is not extended, but it's a range. And once price broke out, what I needed to do was wait for it to test back. I'm looking for a bargain entry. I don't want to buy at the top. I want it to have some retrace. I saw that we had a trend line. I like trend lines a lot. Broke the trend line, and then it was just a matter of waiting, and you saw me enter. So more waiting now, and you could draw a little range here. I mean, what we have is just price setting up little range boxes right now. So I'm in this trade, and it hasn't gone too far in my direction, but it is behaving. My first target is around the 98.50, and I think we'll get to 99. I don't know whether that'll be today or not, but I don't get greedy on these trades. Once I have 2R, I start to think about protecting based on what's happening with overall price action and what time it is. Time of day is important to me because I like to be out of my trade by London close. It's 11 o'clock, and this trade is moving very slow. We did get a higher close on this last hourly candle, and we got a spike higher. What I'm looking for is the price to move into these liquidity zones up to the 98.34 level, and then I think it's going to move on higher and do the 98.50 and then the 99. Let me show you how this looks on the 1 minute. Okay, we're back on the 1 minute now, and what's happened is we have set up a new range that I would draw like this. Part of the issue in my own mind with this is that we're so close to the figure, and often when it's close to the figure, it plays around that level for a while. So we've set up an extended base now, again, on the 1 minute chart, and we're just all over it. There's no tightening. It's going from top to bottom. So it may be that something similar to what happened here happens, that after we have an extended base, we get tightening near the top and then a burst out. But I'm just letting this play out. I'm prepared for my stop to get challenged. I would prefer that I had had it on the other side of this trend line. I can see where it's possible. You can see you've hit 1, 2, and now 3 hits at the very same level. If it comes back again, it may break down and go to this trend line, which is now a lower channel line. But I'm not going to move anything. I'm just leaving this here and hoping that we get some tightening and then a breakout as we go into the London close area. We'll see what happens. And it's just been a minute since I last showed this, and we're getting some possible breakout here, breaking through the trend line. First step would be to get a close outside the trend line, and then if we can get some follow through, maybe we'll be out and ready to head on to the 30-35 level. Yeah, I'm a precision trader. Not everybody, in fact most traders, unless they're small time frame traders, are geared toward watching charts like I do on a 1 minute, setting up these little 1 minute ranges. It took me a long time for this to happen. I started out as a swing trader, putting in alarms and entries with bigger stops and walking away. But over the years, I have found I really enjoy watching price action, and there's no better way to watch and learn from price action to be as engaged with it as a small time frame trader is. Most of my learning has come from the time I spend on the charts and my own personal observations. I give a lot of credit to traders who have been willing to share what they've learned with me and others, and that's the starting point, finding a mentor who trades in a way that's compatible with you and that you have confidence in, but you really have to do the price action work yourself, and you have to make it your own. And the way that I define that is there are things that you will see that will get into your subconscious. Your subconscious will know first, and eventually it'll bring your attention to it enough that you recognize it and then use it as a foundation for your own trading. This high close candle outside the range is encouraging. This is a little over an hour into the trade. This is where I entered. We've been in this extended 1 minute base. We finally had some tightening. I drew a little range of the tightening. Now we're moving to where I'm over 1R in my trade, and we're approaching the first area of liquidity that I've marked. This is zooming way out on a 5-minute chart. This level at the top is the around the 33 level, so that's where I'm hoping to get at least to that level, and then on to 98.45.50. Right now we're hitting this first level, which is around the 20, and my entry's at 6, so I'm up going on 14 pips on a 9 pip stop, so 1.5R. I'm going to let this play out. I think that we'll get at least to this level. And back to the 1 minute. I did do some analysis to see how I could have gotten this earlier. And the early entry for me would have been using my hourly fast momentum test back. I was not here when that happened. That would have gotten me in around the 97.70 area. I call it the fast test back because it's very fresh momentum that I'm trading into, and if I don't catch that fresh burst, then most likely I'm going to see range setups like this that tend to be much more laborious in management and slower in price movement, but they do move steadily and tend to be very reliable trades for me. This is the 15-minute time frame, and this is my final target, which is a 98.45. After we hit this level, it's possible, I think, for us to take out a few more liquidity levels that would basically be here and here. But once we get here, I'm expecting for price to stall out and probably test back into this extended base that you can see on the 15 minute. So right now I'm just trying to get price up into the 30 level, and if it stalls out, I'll go ahead and close out. This is the time of day that I quit trading, so I'm happy if I have a 2.5R. I've gone ahead and put a hard target of this for 27 pips, which would be 3R, because I need to walk away from the screen for a while. I've just returned, and my take profit was hit on this candle at 33. I entered at 6, so I have a profit of 27 pips on that trade with a 9 pip stop for 3R.